Hi there guys, it's Pip here and welcome to the third part series of this confidence course. So today I'm really going to go with you with an over the shoulder exercise. Now if you remember in the last video what we did was we had a look at our story that we were telling ourselves in our head and what the truth was, and hopefully you've managed to write that down and discover a bit about maybe the fact that what you're telling yourself isn't quite the truth. Now today we're going to really look at again where we are, because part of the key to confidence is knowing where you are so that you can know where you want to be and actually join the dots in between. A lot of people actually know where they want to be, they know where they want to improve, but they don't know where their starting point, so it's very difficult to connect the two together. Knowing where you are is probably one of the most important things. Now, just to make you aware, there are lots of resources in this area, and one of them I will share with you right now. So I came across this wonderful book not long ago, and it's called Designing Your Life, and it's by two men, one called Bill Burnett and Dave Evans as well. Now these two gentlemen work at Stanford University. I actually borrowed this from the library, it didn't cost me a penny, but I will put a link below if I can find one for you, so do have a look at that. And this is a wonderful book because it really just takes you through some amazing exercises, many of which we will actually incorporate in this course. But the one thing I wanted to show you is within their offices they have this wonderful sign and it says "You are here," and that's what we're going to concentrate on today, just to bring that extra clarity. They often say that when the students come and sign up for some help discovering where they are and who they are, a lot of their students actually find this sign very clarifying, because it really does bring them right home to the fact that they're not, they're not in yesterday, they're not in the future where they're worrying about all these things of what might happen, they might fail on the test, this, that and the other. They're actually really today in this moment right here, and that's what we want to clarify today. So today is an over the shoulder exercise. Now if you need to pause this video at any point, do feel free to do that. This is an as you go exercise, and it's just a technique that I have found very useful. So what we're going to be doing today is creating one of these. Now this is a self-analysis wall chart, and you might be thinking, well, why do I need one of these? Again, it's just to bring clarity to you, because like with this story building, you might be really surprised at where you are and where you think you want to be and where you actually want to be. A lot of that causes confusion for people, because a lot of us think that we need to be at this place or that place in our lives, and we're not measuring up to that, whereas really we're happy with exactly where we are, or we're not far from where we are, and that causes a lot of confusion and a lack of confidence. So this is mine, and what it does is it just basically breaks down the elements of our lives and helps us to really rate ourselves on where we are and where we want to be, and as I say, from there we can join the dots using some confidence techniques I'll teach you in later videos. So let's go for it. So all you need really is a piece of paper. This is just a blank yellow piece of paper. It can be anything, lines, squared, really doesn't matter as long as you can write on it. And then you just grab yourself a pencil or a pen and a ruler, and I just want you to write down, just put several lines across the paper. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 lines right across the paper. So just get your ruler. They don't have to be equal distance apart. Don't need you to do any measuring now. It's not a, this is not a how, are your lines equal distance from each other exercise. This is a just get it down. And I want you to don't go all the way across the page, just go at the most 3/4. I would say 2/3 really is ideal. You just do that, right? My self-analysis at the top, the date, and then just 9 lines across. So let's do that now. So literally grab our ruler and go, here we go, start anywhere at 1. Again, if they're not perfectly, straight with paper, that's not a problem. If you haven't got a ruler, by the way guys, just use the edge of a book, that's not a problem. They don't need to be equal distance. If you make a mistake, use rubber. This is why we advise you doing it in pencil. worst thing that can happen is you just start all over again. So, you know, just grab a new piece of paper and do 9 more lines. It's really not that complex. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh, I've not done them very equally, but never mind. 7, 8, we get that one in the bottom there, 9. So you've got your 9 lines. Try and make sure that they're equal. Use your rubber to rub out any lines that are gone a bit too far. And then I just want you to, when you've got a piece of paper, it should look a bit like that. Okay, and then I just want you to put a little notch at each end, so literally like this. I'll show you now. Again, this is not a course for artists, so you don't need to again worry about that it's not perfect or it's not pristine. It really does not matter at all. Again, just make sure that you leave yourself about 1/4 to 1/3 of a page at the end, because we're going to be doing some writing there and it's going to be very useful for helping us get ahead. Again, I'm just going to rub out those excess bits of lines. Here we are. So you end up with something a bit like this. Here we go. Hopefully you can see that there. Now I want you just to name your lines. So first one is going to be called, well, basically we're dividing up the segments of our lives. So the first one, I just want you to put mental health, basically mental health. Just put the words mental health at the side of it. So again, you can do this on the computer. You can use Word, Publisher, you can even use something like Excel. It really doesn't matter. Literally just write the different words here. So first one is mental health, second one is diet, third one is finance, fourth one is social, and by that I mean friendships, so you might want to put friendships instead, it really doesn't matter. Next one is relationships, and you might be thinking, Pip, you just wrote that down. It's when I say relationships, I mean relationships with people that are really close to you, so your spouse, maybe your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend. That's what I mean in terms of relationships, which is slightly different to social. I want you to put down physical, as in your physical well-being and health. I want you to put down careers, spiritual. The last one is play. So just to go over those again, we've got our 9 lines, and they are mental health, diet, finance, social, relationships, physical health, careers, spiritual, and play. And those are, I'm not saying there aren't others. If you want to include other dimensions in your life that you can think of, maybe you have children in your life and they're a big aspect and you want to put down children, as in how much time and the quality of your relationship specifically with your children, that's absolutely fine. It's not a problem at all. So once you've got that, oh, got caught in my sleeve there. Let me try that again. There we go. I just want you to grab a pen, and it can even be the pencil you were working with, but I've just got a Sharpie here. And what I want you to do is, with your pencil first of all, rather than your colour pen, is also just go down the middle and put a notch in the middle of each line. The reason I want you to do that is because our lines are going to represent a scale of 1 to 10. So the middle notch will be a value of 5, or the middle value. Now if you want to do this out of 100, do feel absolutely that's fine to do that. And what I really want you to do is, with any colour pen, again it can be the same pencil, is grab your pen and I want you to put on the scale where you think you are, okay? Now this is very important because again it's knowing where you are. Now I don't want you to feel bad whilst you're going through this. I just want you to do that, and then I want you to write at the side or at the end where we've left the space why you think you are where you are. Now I just want to share mine with you. Now mine is a completed version, so you'll notice it has 2 colours on it, But the minute I just want you to concentrate on this green dot. So these are my green dots. You'll notice a lot of them in the middle. Some of them are actually lower values. Here I've got a 2 on play. And I've just written again by the side why they are. So for example, mental health. I listen to something positive every day. That really helps me. My diet is in the middle because I eat healthily but not always at the right points in the day. You know, physical health, I run, I have a physical job but I don't always have a schedule for running. I don't run on a consistent basis. So just write that down. It's dead easy. Just put a dot wherever you think you are. Now once you've done that and you've written down at the side, just one sentence will be fine about where you think you are. I want you to get another pen or another colour. Again, if you're at your office and you don't have colour pens, doesn't matter, just use blue or red, or if you use the pencil, use a black pen. It really doesn't matter. Again, this is not a course for artists. I want you to then put on the scale another dot as to where you think you would like to be. Now I say that very specifically, where you think you would like to be, and this is why, because a lot of us think that we need to be, like say in fitness, we think we need to be like Popeye, or we need to look fabulous. We all have this thing called a blueprint. Tony Robbins again talks a lot about this, and what a blueprint is that we all have certain standards that we feel is right for us. Now my aim in life is actually not to be a super buff athlete. Maybe I'll change later on, but at the minute I'm quite happy with my health. So my physical health I put as a 5, and there I wanted to be was a 6, so it wasn't actually that much different. I didn't actually want to be a 10, just because that's not what brings fulfillment to my life. So just do that exercise for me now. Now once you've done that, by these new coloured dots, again I just want you to write a sentence as to, or a little phrase even, as I have done, as to why you think that. Now for example, mental health, I put in the middle. So I listen to something positive every day. I do struggle with negative emotions, as we all do. I'm a lot better at controlling them, but it's not always, you know, it still is a struggle sometimes. We all have struggles in life. And I put my orange dot at a 6 instead of a 5 where I thought I was, and I put more positive relationships needed. The reason for that is because we grow from the people around us. We actually become the average of the 5 closest people around us. Now when I first started in business, I'm going to be honest with you, the 5 people closest to me were just the 5 people closest to me, and I couldn't really see a difference. But the more I looked, the more I realised I had taken on sort of personality traits of those people. It's funny, there's been studies done that actually showed that if your friends on Facebook are overweight or obese, you are more likely to be overweight or obese. That's just your friends on Facebook. You might not even see them in real life. And the reason for that is because we have this thing in our mind called the reticular activating system. Now the reticular activating system is basically a system that's responsible for 2 things. So number 1, it's responsible for blocking out a lot of things that we experience. So for example, right now you are probably not noticing things like how you are breathing, your heart rate, you might not be aware of the noise of traffic, you might not be aware of the fact that you brushed your teeth this morning, you know, all these things, and we block them out, and the reticular activating system is good at doing that. The second thing that it's really good at is making us notice something that we are in tune with. And this is why when you listen to a lot of motivational speakers, they will literally tell you that we become what we think about. There's a wonderful speech by Earl Nightingale, who is considered one of the first motivational speakers. Again, I'll try and put a link below, but if it's not there, just look up YouTube, Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. It's for free. This is a resource for free, guys. And the reticular activating system makes us notice, as I say, what we are in line with. So say for example, if you've ever bought a car, suddenly you start noticing the same car everywhere. Now, was that car always there? Yes, of course it was, but we didn't notice because it wasn't something that's really in our focus. Now all of a sudden the reticular activating system goes, oh, that model of car is important, so I'll notice it. Oh, there it is again, there it is again. And you start noticing these cars are everywhere. Now we have to be very careful with this, because what happens in our minds is, if we have an innate belief, a subconscious innate belief, because as I say, a lot of our thoughts are unconscious, we will do things, or we'll notice things that back up that reality. So if you are thinking a negative thought about yourself, in this case, you're not a very confident person, you will actually respond in situations, or think of situations in which you have reacted in that way, because it reinforces our sense of who we are. And obviously in this case it can have a very negative effect, because we want to move towards more positivity, but we have to change that belief about ourselves. Now you might be thinking, I have no idea how to change this belief. We're going to get onto that in later topics. First of all, as I say, I want you to write down where you are. Now once you've got this sheet ready, again, you can stick it on your wall, you can just leave it in your success journal or your progression journal, or if you just want to call it a journal, that's absolutely fine, your notebook. And I want you to start making some observations. So where is it that you are actually happy with, and that you thought maybe you shouldn't be happy with? And where is it that you're not happy with, that you want to progress on? Now, some of these things might be really urgent. So in this case, mental health. You might actually have quite good mental health, but just have a lack of confidence. You might be thinking, actually, do you know what, on the whole I am quite an outgoing person. I don't always feel confident, but I actually do try a lot of different things. They don't always work out, but I do at least try them. Or, you know, in relationships you might think, actually I lack confidence, but I do have people around me who are really, when I speak to them, they do lift me up and they do help me. But I also want you to notice where things are not great as well, and I want you to really just be aware of them first of all, and then as an exercise for after this video, I want you to just write down what could improve your confidence in that area, okay? And there's a specific way I want you to do this, because I don't want you to be handed. So you can just write it as a list, and then with that list I want you to write down if you need help with that, basically. So for me, more positive relationships needed. You might need counselling for that, and that's not a bad thing, okay? It's a wonderful awareness. The people who have counselling, we all get, as my mum once pointed out to me, she said we all have counselling in our life, just that a lot of it doesn't come from kind of professional counsellors. We're counselled by our friends, we're counselled by our parents, we're counselled by our siblings, by our co-workers. You might just need to talk to a friend. You might decide that you need a more positive relationship because you have great friends but you don't keep in touch with them very often, and therefore you just need to ring up your friend and say, hey, do you think that we should talk on a Saturday evening at 7 PM every fortnight, which is actually one thing that I do with one of my friends, and we support each other. She suffers with anxiety, and it has really helped each other so far, because she sometimes feels that she doesn't have anyone to speak to about that, and it's really helped us be closer. This is not an overnight technique that's going to, you know, change things drastically, but it will help you gain more clarity as to what you can actually do. Change and moving towards confidence is not about big steps, it's about small steps, and as I say, this exercise is there to help you know where you want to be and where you want to go. And then in the next video, what we'll do is we'll move towards actually setting some goals. Now we actually understand what it is that we want out of our lives, and come to realise that actually maybe some of the external influences are not actually what we want for ourselves. So you know, things that your co-workers and things want you to be, maybe you don't innately want that. And a lot of people suffer from this phenomenon where they think they ought to be in a certain place but they don't innately want that. And they have it creates a lot of internal battles. Now if you are on a 0 on something and you want to move to a 10, great, let's go for that. If you think that will bring you more fulfillment and more confidence, that's absolutely wonderful. But all these points are pivotal for our lives, for making us feel good about who we are. So guys, do the exercise, and I will also see you in the next training where we'll move forward on that and get some goals going. Now also just to remind you that we do offer membership with this, so if you have got that membership, that's wonderful. If you haven't, however, just to let you know, what I'm doing today is I have added 10 more hours on the clock. So what you can do is, now you've had a taste of a few of our training sessions, you can join our membership and join it at a reduced rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer it to you for a 60% discount. So you're only paying about 40% of the price. Again, we do believe that we can bring a value to you. So the course is initially $99 or £74.75 in the UK. As you will see below, there will be a different price for you if you want to join today. Again, it is just 10 hours on the clock, guys, so do make the most of that. We really believe that we can help you. And yeah, I really think that hopefully if you carry on with these techniques with me, you're going to start making a real difference. So hopefully you found this really interesting today, and I'll see you next time for another great video. Don't forget to join us. Take care. Bye bye now.